Ho, ho, ho! Maybe movies.
Popcorn.
In spies.
Ooh, shiny.
Does that mean we've done something good or bad?
I suppose it depends.
If they're warm, then we've done something good. If they're cold, then we've done something bad.
Okay, alright.
They're room temperature.
What does that mean?
Well, we know what it means if we're room temperature. And we're not. Well, I'm not anyway, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I think I just didn't want to say that they're cold. We'll say they're room temperature, and that means we may be okay.
Maybe.
What have we got? Ah,
Wine?
more wine. Well, it is still the season. Oh, you've got lights.
Oh, shiny. Shiny.
See, I've obviously been better than you. I've got a piece of fruit in mine.
Oh.
Clearly they're favouring you. Sucker.
Me? What did I do?
I don't know, but honestly it's better than whatever I did.
Well, I don't know. You've got a bigger jar than me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hello! Thank you for joining us on the third of our December episodes and our journey into having fun with Christmas movies. If you're a regular watcher, welcome back. If this is your first time here, thank you for checking us out, and please do consider having a look at the videos that have come before, and obviously consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Terribly fragile egos. Well, I do anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, yes, if you this is your first time here, then we are Maybe Movies. I'm Max.
And I am Sam.
And we are two actors, creators, writers, all this kind of wonderful things, who love movies, and we've decided that a new way to look at movies is to take what already exists, slightly pull it apart, and then put them back together and discuss and try and envisage how a new movie might look with a different central character, whether that be the protagonist, the antagonist, the setting, the overall narrative of the film, depending on who's making it, all of those kind of things. We try different things. We're not fussy.
We're definitely experimenting here.
So this month we are looking at Krampus and Home Alone, which have now been reworked as Home with Krampus and Alone, which is
I know it just doesn't have the same.
It doesn't, especially when you put as you put last week, Alone, a film by John Hughes. And if you're here last week, then you'll see that we did Acts 1 and 2 of Alone. So this week we'll be looking at Act 3 and then also Act 1 of Home with Krampus.
Indeed.
I don't know, have you got anything you'd like to say to the people at large?
I have not. No, I'm saving all my comments for the joy of Home with Krampus.
Okay, that's cool. I think I did say at the end of last week that there was that I need to have a think. There might be a couple of things that I think of to throw in for Act 3.
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple of very, 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 very minor things. I mean, having rewatched Krampus now, and again just to refamiliarise myself with Max.
Yeah.
There was a couple of things that I did notice, and then yeah, you're right. I see what you mean. He can do things. He does them very well.
Yeah.
Like when he puts out the Christmas tree and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he needs to be told to do it.
Yes.
But then at the same time, and again, I may be reaching here,
Mm-hmm.
in the very start of the film,
Yeah.
when he's having the fight with the kids in the nativity play,
Yeah, that's right.
he does grab a handful of fake snow and rub it in his face, which you could argue does mean that he has an instinctive idea to make use of his environment.
This is why I think he would be capable of trying to defend the house.
That's
I
fine.
just don't think he's as inventive as Kevin is.
Just because it wasn't brought up as a direct analogy, I didn't know, but it makes sense that.
Yeah, he's not afraid to act. He will try and defend his house, and he is able to think of some things.
Which did also make me think, because he's a bit older,
Mhm.
but I couldn't find anything in the film that would say that he definitely would. When he meets Mr. Marley, oh, well, no, I checked, it is Marley.
Yes.
You checked as well.
That was, oh goodness me, I can't for the life of me remember, but there was a video I was watching a few days ago where they specifically mentioned it because nobody at the time could remember his name and they had to check it.
Okay. The other thing, it's 30th anniversary of Home Alone.
Of course it is, yes, 1990, yes.
Mm-hmm. So,
Good one. Happy birthday. 30th birthday, I don't know. Legally an adult, able to drive, able to drink, probably got kids of your own now.
Oh. But yes, I was wondering, when he meets Mr. Marley in the church,
In the church, okay, yeah.
would he ask him for help?
Max believes in fairness.
Mm.
And one of the rules of fairness is that help tends to come if you ask for it. So I think so. I think he's a couple of years older. He's probably not as scared of Mr. Marley as Kevin is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't buy into stories. He's just that little bit older in the same wholehearted way that a 7 or 8 year old would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might cross his mind to ask for help. There's a grown up nearby. He knows he needs help.
He's his neighbour.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I have to admit, I agree. We didn't
cover that last time, but you're probably right. He probably would ask for help.
Cool.
Good point.
What do you have first? For Act 3.
What do I have first?
So I'm trying to think. The first thing that happens is they arrive and he's saying his prayers.
Yes, that's right. He's saying his prayers. The clock starts to ring, and Marvin and Earl arrive at the back door and decide to split up.
That's right.
One goes around the front, one goes around the back.
So are we, just before we go any further, sorry, are we saying then, I mean, if he's asked Mr. Marley for help, Mr. Marley with him?
Right, we need to have this discussion now because
We do,
does
because
matter.
it is going to change the entire third act.
Well, I mean, my first instinct is to say again, because maybe we're going to break the movie in a different way than I thought. Because surely Mr. Marley's first instinct would be, well, why don't you call the cops?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because he doesn't know.
No, well, yeah.
Because he doesn't know anything about him being home alone, does he? I keep forgetting that they have this conversation, but he doesn't know anything.
He never mentions being home alone. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
You're right. Mr. Marley doesn't know about that.
Okay, so let's do this another way then.
Okay. We dug us a little hole for ourselves
I
here.
think I may be able to fill it quite quickly.
Okay, cool.
So they meet up there in the church, and he rather than asking him directly for help,
Mm-hmm.
he just says, maybe stop by and see us later. Check on us. Or just say something like, why don't you come round later? For a drink.
An invitation.
An invitation, yeah.
I like it. Yes.
So that means we can drop him in wherever we need to.
Yeah.
In the same way that he appears when he needs to.
He's just kind of friends with Mr. Marley with the whole exchanging of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that means we can proceed.
Right, where are we? Yes. So, yes, Marv and Earl, back door splitting up.
Yep.
Marv goes around the front, Earl tackles the back door,
Mhm.
immediately encounters the ice steps, which we already agreed that definitely Max would have thought
Yes.
of that.
Yep. That bit plays out exactly as it is.
So, yeah, and
Of course, that's the same story around the front of the house, with Marv flying on his butt
Yep.
repeatedly.
And I'm figuring out that you can just go around.
yeah.
So
But eventually, Earl is going to get in the back door.
Yes.
Now, in the original movie, this is when Kevin strikes with the iron down the laundry chute.
Yeah. We don't have that.
We don't have that.
Neither do we have the red hot doorknob,
No.
which are two things that seriously inconvenienced our two guys. So Earl's not concussed, and Marv is not got the doorknob burnt into his hand.
Yes.
Still very annoyed, but now he's got access to the front door.
And obviously, as I think we discussed before, there's not going to be any flamethrower or any blowtorch.
Yeah, no.
So no blowtorch, no tar and nails on the stairs. Do you think then we would have Rosie in the basement?
Yes, it certainly. I imagine Rosie would at least delay Earl.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that she's big enough to cause him any serious problems, but maybe rip his pant legs or something like
Yeah.
that, and have a go at him, definitely.
So in that style, I imagine he kind of jumps over or gets past her and gets to the stairs, and she runs up and grabs hold of his trousers,
Yeah.
pulls him, and he kind of goes bop, 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 down.
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah.
Half pulling his trousers off, so that would be even better. So instead of losing his shoes, he loses his trousers.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! No, I like that. I like that. We've got to try and remain within the spirit of Home Alone.
Yeah.
So we might as well include these moments. Yeah, I like it. So he gets dragged down the stairs, but eventually gets up. So that replaces the tar and nail sequence.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It's nice. Again, we don't have the dog flap torch, so Marv's going to be able to get in.
Yes.
I mean, either dog flap or being able to pick the front door. Marv's getting in.
Mm-hmm. Next.
It's the tar and feather sequence, and then the Christmas baubles, because Earl sneaks around the front of the house and tries to climb in the window.
Which he doesn't need to, no.
He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So the baubles are out of play.
Unless you want to check it that he gets pulled out, he gets his trousers pulled off and then runs back out.
Unless the
back door.
baubles
Are like scattered around the house, and not just under specific windows.
Yeah, that would make sense. So he's put them down rather than as something as a deterrent, obviously, to them coming in. He's scattered them all over the place so he knows where they are.
Yeah.
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 So what is Max doing at this point? Because he's got the air rifle.
He's
Still got the bangers because. Oh no, that scene would have played out as it would have done normally, wouldn't it?
It would have done, yes, he's
So-
used the bangers, unfortunately.
He's still got the air rifle.
But we've got the baubles. He's up the stairs waiting for them. At least that's how it plays out. And presumably, he's retreating step by step. So that's what you would do. Then the micro machines.
Yeah, I think I know how this works then.
Mm-hmm.
So, Marv comes in through the front door. Obviously, he slips over. Finally gets there. Stumbles into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Max is at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
With the air rifle. As soon as he comes in, shoots him right in the forehead.
Yeah.
So as he's going and staggers forward, he hits the micro machines and goes on his ass.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives that reason for him not noticing the micro machines.
Yeah.
Everywhere and things. Yes. So that leaves Marv and Earl on their butts at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, I think that would probably happen sooner. So that's while Earl's trying to get up the stairs without his trousers.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start to learn to take notes during this because I can't remember. Did we agree that the paint cans were a possibility for
Yes,
him?
you said that originally.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I
No.
then suddenly realised I really should have noted that down when we were talking about it last week. So we
It's
have this conversation right now.
It's cool. As I said, I was editing the other day, so
of course.
Yeah. But yes, we did say that he gets the paint cans, he gets the zip wire, he gets the tripwire at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And then just what we said, the micro machines and the baubles.
Yeah.
And we cheeked in the air rifle, so that's it.
It's mostly he's out of luck at this
Yeah.
point. So you have the paint cans.
So Marv goes up after him. Then I take it Earl kind of catches him up, sees him. Maybe he then goes whoop.
Because he's looking up, he's not paying attention to where he's going, and so
Yeah.
he does the thing. And then Marv gets knocked down the stairs by the paint can, so Earl gets up and
yeah.
gets the second paint can.
It's a lot quicker. The whole of this happens a hell of a lot quicker than.
Yeah, probably. But it's like I say,
Yes.
it's all happening quickly. And then he runs away to call the cops. Name's Murphy. Just like that little touch. It's 1990. It's only a couple of years since RoboCop.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've got a little note. My name's Murphy. When he calls the cops.
I'd never noticed it before either. It's the first time for me too. But that tickles me because that kind of suggests that Kevin's seen RoboCop,
Yeah,
even though he's frightened by the angels with dirty wings.
absolutely.
Weird, but there you go.
We have no spider, so he's going to have to run out the window and run for the treehouse.
With them hot on his heels.
With them hot, yeah, really right.
Well, no, does he even get there? Because it's using the spider on Earl that makes Earl let go of it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here we go.
So he is literally, he's got hold of him, he's trying to get to. Now, I suppose the only difference here is, as we said, Max is a little bit older, he's a little bit stronger than Kevin would be, but still, Earl is a fully
Two
grown
grown
man.
adults.
Yeah.
One grown adult, you might surprise him and punch him in the face or kick him in the nose or something that really hurts. But two grown adults?
I don't think it is. And
now it's starting to fall apart on us.
it is because Rosie's down in the basement. We would assume that Earl closed the door to the basement when
Of
he came
course
out.
he did, otherwise she'd chase him up the stairs.
Yeah, she can't
And
get
should
out.
be active in this position.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, she's got very short legs. Do you think she'd even get up those stairs?
Well, that's
She
true.
would get down. I don't know if she'd get up very easily. Can't get out the back way because it's all iced up.
Exactly, yeah.
So she's kind of out of play. So they've got him at this point.
They have it. All right.
So what happens now? Oh Jesus,
Well-
I didn't think about this.
This is, I mean, all right, they haven't put through the absolute ringer. They haven't stood on nail boards and
Yeah.
had their hair blowtorched off.
Yeah.
But they've been pink canned in the face and thrown on their butts and iced up all over the place. They're pretty annoyed right now.
Yeah.
Also, the kid shot one of them.
It's true.
Marv, who... Wait a minute. Is it Marv? No, it's Earl who usually carries the crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is Marv going to snatch the crowbar away from Earl?
You have to ask ourselves some serious questions.
Well, obviously, if it was Joe Pesci in any other film apart from this one, yes, he would.
He would, absolutely, yeah.
but
yeah.
he's not. So I think, in the spirit of the original film, I don't think he would. He might threaten him. It might kind of shake at him. I don't know if he shot him with the crowbar. He might threaten to shoot him with the air rifle.
Yeah.
Because it's an air rifle, so...
But at this point, the bad guys have kind of won.
So I think this is probably the only point that we have to play our Marley card.
Okay.
I'm just wondering how.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of noise, but those houses are very detached houses and big houses, so he's not close enough to hear.
Trying to think.
The only other way that I could think of it is if Rosie was on the ground floor, she would either come to help him or run and go and get some up to get out the front door. But where she is at the moment, she's trapped. Unless you wanted to get really silly and say once they've grabbed him, they kind of drag him out of the attic, go backstairs, and then hit the tripwire again, and he gets away that way. But again, I think that's that might be stretching it a little bit too far.
We are stretching. I mean, we're already
Oh
stretching.
yeah.
I mean, how do you play the Marley card? How do you play the Marley? I don't know if we can.
Not.
What are you doing?
No idea.
He's enjoying himself far too much, is what he's doing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the only way that I could see to do it is Old Man Marley's coming back from his granddaughter's just left church. He's walking back, sees the front door open.
So Marv is so annoyed when he finally gets in the front door, he doesn't close it behind him?
Yeah.
I can buy that. Okay.
Although, unfortunately, this is the bit where we can't have Old Man Marley go straight up into the house because he's going to go.
Oh yeah. He can't, can he?
Well, he can. He can just go around the side, but his initial thing, and obviously being an old man,
No,
he's
no, the back steps are ice too.
Oh no! I mean, because there's the front steps,
Oh,
and you
right.
could climb up onto the side and just walk across to it.
No, because the whole thing's iced, isn't it?
Is he
Even when,
asking
even when Marv
Mark
gets to the top, he's sliding, isn't he? He constantly slides.
Yeah.
The whole thing's iced. Oh dear, I think Max may have just scuppered his
I
saviour.
think he might have done. But it might work enough. He sees the door is open,
Mhm.
goes to get his snow shovel, comes up, slides over. As he obviously he's going to go "Ah!" as he does,
Mhm.
distracts them. They look at the door, which may give Max a chance to do something if they're carrying him down the stairs or whatever.
Do what?
Swing on the paint cans. The paint cans are still swinging, aren't they? From where he dropped them.
Yeah.
So if say for example, if you say it's Earl because he's the taller of the two,
Yeah.
he's got Max up like this. He's going trying to fight him. Old Man Marley slips over outside. They turn to see what happens. You've still got the paint cans swinging there from where they were suspended. So he's high enough because he's on Earl's shoulder effectively
Mhm.
to grab hold of the paint can and push himself away, and then swing.
How is he going to push himself away? He's held. Where's he going to get the leverage from?
Maybe kick him in the side? Just enough for him to loosen his grip. Again, I'm trying to think in terms of
You
movie
are
terms.
stretching so hard right here.
I want him to win.
I honestly think we have a broken movie here.
I think I have to agree. Because neither of them have guns, do they?
No, they don't. They
No,
just have the
they don't.
crowbars.
But no, I think you're right. I am stretching it because I'm trying to think what would be acceptable within the confines of a John Hughes movie. Especially a John Hughes Christmas movie. Sorry, a script by John Hughes, directed by Christopher Columbus. Or Chris Columbus. But yeah, I can't see... I think we finally have one that doesn't work.
I don't think we have a movie. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about his ultimate fate, but it's not going to be pleasant.
No. And we didn't even get onto John Candy or anything else either.
Old Man Marley is reasonably capable, but he's still an old man. He's in his, 60s, 70s?
Easily.
You know, a couple of good falls and he's liable to break his hip.
Yeah.
Or an arm or something like that, you know.
Yeah. So no, I think, unfortunately,
It does seem to be, we broke
we broke Max.
we broke the movie.
So, yeah.
On that bombshell. Shit. I was not expecting that.
I knew it was going to happen eventually, that we'd break a movie.
It was bound to. But I thought this one we'd be able to get through it. Oh dear.
I thought it would go a little further than this, but no. No, I think at this point...
Yeah, there is nothing else that could possibly happen that could come in to save him, because obviously, his dad's too far away. He's not going to be there till the next day.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Damn it.
It's a holiday-themed tragedy is what it is. I don't think it works as a movie, but that's what we've created.
It's what makes time travel possible.
Oh, the flux capacitor! I see it! I see... Oh! Trying to tell us something, Trent.
Is that the answer?
Time travel. See the way we can fix this movie.
One to put in our
Failure bin.
Our Hall of the Dead.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Why?
Did you open that door?
Huh? What? No. No. Not me.
I've got wine and we've got food, and again, that's too far away to go and investigate at the moment.
Let's just stay here.
Yeah. Let's, well, I suppose we should really, as is tradition, we should toast our failures.
Okay, yes,
we have
indeed.
a failure. We do have a failure, so that's a new thing.
That's the first.
Home with Krampus then.
Home with Krampus. Yay. Okay.
So, before we even begin,
Mm-hmm.
let's just check our acts, first of all.
Okay.
I'm only doing Act 1 today, but obviously we've not sort of discussed where Act 1 finishes and all those kind of things.
Okay, sure. No problem. Well, I think from my point of view, the acts are pretty clearly defined, especially the first and second, or the beginning, the line between the first and second act.
Yeah.
Because, I'd say it's when he rips up the letter and throws it out the window. Because that's when the snowfall begins, and the next scene is things getting strange, like snowmen appearing.
Yes,
in the yard,
absolutely.
things like that.
For, everything that happens after that point is as a direct consequence of him tearing up the letter, so it's a natural break.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So Act 2 into Act 3?
Act 2 into Act 3, I think it's reasonably straightforward, because I think it's when the fire goes out, because that's when chaos ensues.
Yes.
Because everybody falls asleep, the fire goes out, and then chaos erupts on the house, and everything escalates from that point forward.
Yes, because everything is just, it's like that
And it's another transgression, like tearing up the letter. Omi has been saying the whole time, don't let the fire go out, don't let the fire go out, don't let the fire go out. This happen.
That makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, so a couple of things then I was looking at overall for the film.
Mhm.
As we discussed, we are now having the McAllisters and their extended family, but they are now in the Engel house, so that's the first thing. It's a smaller house from a lot more people.
A lot more people. Yes, it's going to be busy.
3 more people, but it will be a lot more crowded.
Mm.
The first thing I think that we have to consider with this film, our new version of this film, is we lose Umi, which means we lose any connection to the folklore of Krampus.
Okay.
Is missing from the film.
Do you have any way that we can fix that? Because it's kind of something that we want. I mean, that story matters.
It does, and this is the thing. This is the biggest problem that I had with it from the outset was they are not. I mean, it's the process of Home Alone that teaches Kevin that helps to be able to rediscover the magic of Christmas.
Yes.
His family are a very materialistic late 80s or 1990s upper middle class Chinese family.
Yes.
Christmas is things and objects. It's not about.
Yeah.
There's no spiritual angle to it, which made me worry about the film overall. Because without that,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
feels a bit sterile.
Max's family are very much the same. You actually look at those early scenes. There's a lot, especially when Mother gets back and she's all about the perfect meal and the perfect dessert and the perfect decorations. And
This is true. I think I led more into the fact that
it is quite subtle, but it is there.
that is true. But I think, because you still had that through line, and even with them, they come back and you've got Umi there making all this lovely home cooked food and things like that. McAllister's, let's go and see what's in the freezer.
Yes, you know, we'll get a pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would do that. That wasn't so much of a problem for me because they get pizza because they don't want. They've probably emptied the things. They're not going to be there for 2 weeks, so it's the most convenient. Here is different. They are there for the duration. So that's I imagine. Yes, they would be preparing for a meal and this kind of thing, but it's just you lose those nice little touches because there isn't anybody within that we've seen in that house in either family that are especially invested in Christmas. I mean,
Homeliness.
that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Did we fix that?
I don't think we can.
I don't think we can either. I think you're probably right, which means their home is going to be just that little bit more sterile.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll all be about the things rather than the family, the togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, as you say, Omi is that person
is that link to that, to that story and how it affects this, which I was a bit worried. Again, we will have to see how we go because there's a lot of room for manoeuvrability with the characters because we know so little about them from the original film because they're there and then
They're gone and in the background of other things. Yeah.
So we do have that, but I was a bit worried that this might turn into another example of horrible things happening to bad people that you just you're not invested in.
Yeah, well, I see what you mean. Even that dog has layers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even Kevin isn't exempt from that. He's very worldly wise for an 8-year-old. He still believes in Santa, but he gets, he's already got, as he says to the Santa, I know how it works. You're not Santa, but you work for him. So he does still have that childlike capacity to bend the truth to keep the myth alive, even though he doesn't know that he's doing it.
Yeah.
But he's very sassy, he's very gobby. Without the opportunity, it's not like he's not like Max, he doesn't miss a Christmas. That was full of togetherness and family unity, because most of their Christmases are probably like this. I know it's different because they're going away this time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's colder here.
Yeah. It's very bright. It's like, I think you're going to probably know where I'm going to go with the analogy. It's like visiting the Christmas display in a store.
Ah, yes. Yes, very, very bright, very clean, very saccharine and very artificial.
Yes. I don't think it breaks the film, it's just I still want to be able to care about the characters. There still should be that hope of redemption for them.
I do see the problem that you're pointing out, because they don't have they certainly don't display any of the inner strengths or reserves that the adults in
Mhm.
the original Krampus do. And Uncle Frank is a crass coward.
Yes.
Clearly. And a thief. So yeah, we do have difficulties. On the other hand, Aunt Leslie seems nice enough.
She
a little
does.
bit absent-minded, but she wasn't, I don't remember her being explicitly antagonistic, and she's shocked even when Frank tries to steal the, what was it, the
Salt and pepper,
The salt and
pepper
pepper off
shakers.
the plane,
They're
yes.
real crystal. Put them in your bag. Put them in your bag.
And she's a little bit like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
You know, she's a little shocked by it. She's, you know, so I mean, you know, I think that there's room for Leslie to have some warmth to her. And of course, Kevin is, like Max, the heart of the story in many ways. So we can fall back on that. And he does have some endearing qualities to him. I mean, you know, he does.
Oh no, he does. Yeah, he does. It's just that kind of again thinking that we have to think this is Kevin at the start of the story. He hasn't been on the journey that he goes on in Home Alone.
Yeah.
But then again, he's still no. I suppose I keep forgetting from the original film. He literally believes he's made his family go away.
Mm-hmm.
So he does in that respect. So yeah,
It's a wish fulfilled.
Yes. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so possibly I think. Ooh. Idea.
Ding.
I think I know how we can get Krampus into the story. You stick it in as a replacement for Buzz winding up the kids about Old Man Marley. Ruin Christmas for them, so he tells them the story of Krampus.
So Krampus is Buzz's scary story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that. I could get behind that. You could even have a funny little moment with Georgette or one of the others correcting her about like how you pronounce the name or something
Yes.
like that. Because actually in the German it would be Krampus or something, you know. Something little moment. Yes, I like that. That's a good way to get around the story problem.
Yeah. It's Buzz. He calls him Krampus or something.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he said George Alini, whatever they call it. He goes, actually, the Germans would call it Krampus, as you say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phew. Okay, that's taking care of those. Right.
Okay.
Let's actually get into
Which moves the story into the first act. That needs to happen before everything starts getting weird.
Mm-hmm. Because it starts in the store, doesn't it? With all of that stuff.
So it starts with the shopping chaos.
What did you have for your first scene? First of all, let's have a look at those.
Well, you see, this is the thing. We've only got a few scenes because they're extended scenes.
I started it from when they go back to the house after the punch up in the supermarket.
Yes. Right. Well, yeah. Well, you see, the first scene is kind of the opening sequence, but
Yes.
it's important because it includes Max getting into the fight.
Yes.
So it is actually a scene in the movie. It's not just an opening sequence. It's pretty short and sweet, the first
It
act.
is, yes.
Although those scenes are extended, you know, they're not minutes. A minute long. They're 4 or 5 minute pieces, aren't they?
My first one is when they get back to the house after the fight.
Because it's establishing so much.
Exactly. I mean, did you have anything before that, or have you?
I mean, like I've got the scene listed because, but it happens. Kevin is going to get into the fight. He's just as feisty.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get, so that we're going to see the fight. It's going to happen pretty much the same way.
It did make me think when we get back to the house, would there be some, even at this early juncture, a bit of begrudging respect from Buzz, because the fight is broken up, but he still held his own.
A little. Yeah, Buzz is the kind of kid that might respect that a little bit.
For about 10 minutes.
Yeah, for about
And
10
then
minutes. Yeah.
Kevin will do something and it'll be, you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking, even that opening, I like that opening to that establishing thing of the family. So, as we say, there's no Umi, and so there's nobody there to cook.
Nobody there to cook, nobody to greet them when they come home.
Do they?
So it's a cold open into the house.
Yeah, unless they don't have like staff, do they? In canisters?
I never got that impression.
No, not that. Not that.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So it would be getting everything out of the freezer or whatever to defrost.
Yes, unpacking,
But I mean,
and preparing.
I don't know. I still don't know whether it's Kate, isn't it?
Kate is the mother, yes.
Yeah. Do you think she cooks? They're not going anywhere. We don't have the pressure of them having to leave the next day. So, and she's expecting the family over.
Yeah. This is a typical American family. Probably at Christmas. Yeah, she probably does.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't necessarily as much the rest of the time, because they're obviously quite high-powered people. They can afford all sorts of things.
Yes.
But I think because it's a very traditional thing in America, it's like Thanksgiving. It's a home cooked meal. It's meant to be a home cooked meal.
Mhm.
It's kind of a point of pride
Yes.
to cook your own turkey.
That bit as well, just that scene in the house when they get back.
Mhm.
Again, very different because you've got 5 kids running around instead of
Yeah,
just
there's a
2.
lot more noise and chaos happening and stuff like that. And
I was wondering, would you want to watch Charlie Brown or would it be something else? Angels with dirty faces.
I don't see why not. You know, it's a very traditional thing.
But yes, I can see it as playing out as like the original film. Kevin's just getting under everybody's feet,
Yes.
not actually doing anything specific, but just getting under everybody's feet.
But he's already on the wrong with them because he got
Yes.
into the fight.
Yeah,
So they're already annoyed. It doesn't take much to Kevin, get out of the way, get out of the room.
yeah,
Let me do this. Get out of the fridge, whatever.
yes.
Whatever he's doing, it won't take much for him to be an irritation to him and to be under their feet. That was meant to be quote marks. Sometimes I did a bear claw. I don't know why. Grrr.
Sorry.
So yeah. He's going to get under their feet. And he's going to annoy the heck out of them.
Yes.
And so maybe instead of having a discussion with Omi about whether he should write the letter, maybe Kate is like, just get out of the kitchen. I tell you what, why don't you go and write your letter to Santa, Kevin?
That's true. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. The other thing, I just suddenly thought we could possibly backtrack because
Because of course it's not a big deal. Kevin's only 7. It's not a big deal for him to write a letter to Santa. It's kind of normal.
But I was just suddenly thinking if we'd lose Umi, but we could still throw Megan in there.
Mm-hmm.
Their niece, she's staying with them for Christmas.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and that's another extra body in the house before everybody else arrives.
Yeah.
So again, more chaos.
So she could be there cooking food for them. Or
Yeah.
doing some of the stuff in the kitchen.
Doing some
while
of the stuff. Yeah.
While
yeah.
they go to the
Doing
while
some
they go
of
to the
the prep work
recital.
Yeah.
She's doing all of the prep for dinner.
Okay. Yes. No. That gives us somebody for them to come home to, and then have that conversation.
And you still get that environment, yeah, that feeling of all of this lovely home cooked food and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that works better
She
because it
lives-
gives us a closer match to the original.
We could do a similar swap to what we did in the other one then. That she's obviously lives normally with is it Peter's brother?
Yes.
But let's just say they live in Germany. So she's grown up in Germany. I'm not saying that she has the story, but we can then throw that allows that
A little bit of a
problem.
connective thread.
Yes, that cures that problem of having no connection to there.
Yeah.
So we can then make the food give it that kind of slightly Germanic look
Yeah.
because that's where she's grown up. She's learned how to cook all this stuff over there.
Yeah, that makes
She's
sense.
just in America studying or something.
It's not a replacement for Omi, but it gives us some of the qualities that we are allowed to influence. And,
Exactly, which we
Yeah.
need for the film.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's agreeable. Very agreeable.
I mean, again, if you wanted to go that far, it could even be that she's got a book that's got stuff about Krampus in it, and that's where Buzz has got the idea from.
That's even better. Because that gives us an opportunity, that gives us an excuse to do that little storybook sequence. It's such a beautiful little piece, I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
It's a really nice piece of the movie. Our Act 1 is going to be a little bit longer,
Mm-hmm.
because we've got to include the Krampus story in there.
Yes, and there's a lot more people to kind of establish as characters.
Yes, quite a few more. And obviously, instead of the antagonism from the other members of the family coming from their physical aggressiveness, it's their intellectual superiority. Like the French would call you les incompetents.
Yes.
That just you're a child.
That was, the next one that I had seen it in terms of actual scenes was the dinner scene. In terms of the stuff that happens between that, so as you say, we'll slot in a bit when all the cousins are there.
It's definitely an important scene. It would have been one of my choices because although you've kind of met the relatives of the previous scene, the dinner scene is when that personal interaction,
Yes.
the interpersonal, because it's kind of, you only get a tiny bit of it in Home Alone, when the whole family's together around the table eating pizza, and then Kevin causes chaos, and then of course he's sent upstairs and we don't get to see the rest.
Yeah.
But that's the scene when we start to see these interpersonal familial relationships and foibles and quips and things coming out.
Absolutely.
And of course it's when the letter goes from being a personal thing, to being a point of ridicule and humiliation.
I was thinking again, it would probably be Buzz that steals the letter. He seems to be our chief antagonist.
I imagine he's the one who pulls it out and goes, "Your letter, he even wrote a letter to Santa," and then somebody snatches it from him and reads it. So it would be Buzz bringing it out, but then one of the other cousins being the antagonist reading the letter.
Okay. Yeah, I can go with that. I can see that. Probably not. Fuzz too young, isn't he? So it'd be.
Yeah, Buzz's way too young. He's about Kevin's age, isn't he?
Yeah. Played by Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Really, was he? I
Kieran.
knew that Macaulay had a brother. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, Kieran Culkin, I think it is.
Okay.
Well, we've got a couple of choices here. You know, we've got Jeff and Rod, and the girls. The girls could be just as nasty.
Let's go with Rod because he sounds like an asshole.
But it's one of those names, isn't it? It's got the connotations, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, let's have Rod. Snatch it out of Buzz's hand and read it out for everybody's delight.
And it would be very similar, I suppose. It would be stuff at the beginning and then going into. But see, this is the thing. What would Kevin put? Because obviously,
Well, it wouldn't be like,
because Uncle Frank, I always take it is supposed to be a bit more. See, I was always wondering, is Uncle Frank supposed to be wealthier? Do you think they're better off?
Oh no! Oh God, no! Have you never noticed this? He never pays.
Oh yeah.
My brother's paying for that. My
So,
other brother's
so
paying
the
for
dynamic,
that.
yeah,
Oh, that's made of crystal. Put it in your handbag.
yeah, of course the dynamic is there. Yes.
He's not rich at all. He's he's going to be an envious man, but he's also, you know, this moral coward.
Yes, he is. Yes.
So yes, maybe instead of wishing that his family were boys, maybe wishing that he wasn't so poor.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Something that would offend them.
Offend them, yeah.
But that also plays into Frank's character and the nature of that side of the family.
Yeah, I was just again a lot of the stuff that I put down here was very much themic stuff. Was things like trying to imagine how that house would be because they haven't got the pressure of having to leave the next day.
Yes, it would be less chaotic. You wouldn't have all the rushing around going on, but you'd still have the chaos of people being together and the babble of noise and interaction. Pass the plates and you just elbowed me in.
Exactly.
Give me that's my doll or whatever.
I did also think as well when it all kicks off with that scene that Kevin isn't the kind to back down.
no, he's not.
And he would just keep going and keep going, so they'd have to actually physically remove him. And I did think, do they go and stick him in the attic? Just as a little nod.
Yeah, yes, yeah, as a nod. Send him out. They'd be like sending him to his room, but send him to the attic for half an hour or whatever to think about it or whatever.
Because that would be quite nice. Because again, in this version of it, it would be his mum that goes up and talks to him.
Yes, because in this,
So-
it is the more caring parent.
So even that in itself, then in this new setup,
Yeah.
would play out pretty much the same as it plays out in Home Alone. He probably would say, "Oh, we should all go
I
away."
mean, the argument would be about different things, but the scene, yeah, I like it, and it's a nice callback.
Injects a nice spooky element into it because he then goes back to the letter while he's in the attic and throws it out of the attic window.
Oh,
instead.
yes, nice image.
Yeah, get one of those, because they didn't have one of those little circular windows.
There's a couple of windows, I think, at the oh no, I'm starting to think of the wrong house, the Angle house, isn't it? Yes, I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get one of those, in the little round window and there's letter fluttering out the
open
window.
it up. Yeah.
I mean, still pretty much the same shot, but it's just it's a nice touch. I like it. Yes.
And that's it.
That is Act 1.
Oh wait, we just one small thing. We need to find a moment to put the story in, or should we put the story in tomorrow? Not the next day, because things have gotten weird, but they haven't gotten that weird the next day.
Well, I mean, if we're putting it in as a replacement for him telling the story about Old Man Marley, it would happen after the cousins have arrived, after the family have arrived,
but before dinner.
Yeah. So
Brilliant.
while they're all just doing stuff, and then he tells them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to freak them out.
Yeah, and it'd be his way of making fun that Kevin still believes in Santa.
Yeah.
So it's another touch to the antagonism that he feels that builds up into that moment. That's it. That's our Act 1.
That was kind of unexpected. I didn't think we'd get through that bit as quick as we did, but we did. And we have a bit of a bombshell, as we said already. We have a film that has broken.
Yes.
So please do come back and join us next time when we look at Acts 2 and 3 of Home with Krampus. As I did mention last week, and I'd say it again this week, Because it is Christmas, next Friday we won't be airing a show because we've got other stuff to do. So we'll be back to wrap up this month's episodes on New Year's Day.
So, we hope you all have a great time. Wherever you are, have a Merry Christmas and happy holidays. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon. So in the meanwhile, take care and TTFN.
Take care. And yes, and again, as Sam says, Merry Christmas to everybody, and as always, stay safe and look after each other.
Ba 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 ba.